live inside the Paco Arena. Welcome to the Spiker Surf Invitational Conference 2025. Two teams in the lookout for their first win of the conference. One oozing with that youthful energy and a lot of university pride, while another one embodying that veteran leadership and seasoned core that's built on discipline and resilience. This is the first game of our triple header Friday between the PGJC Navy Sea Lions and the DN Steel FEU Tamaraws. This is the Spiker Surf Invitational Conference where power meets passion.
I'm sure you all know there is a lot of shared history between these two teams, and that is the perfect example of it. Their head coaches talking among themselves before they engage in this battle, where they will be on the lookout for their first win of our tournament, our triple header. For today, we'll start things off with the PGJC Navy Sea Lions going up against the FEU-DN Steel Tamaraws. Savoj will take on UST in our game at 4 p.m. before VNS will face off against the crisscross King Crunchers. But first things first, we welcome you to the Paco Arena when we thank you for your continued support of Spiker Surf. This is our Invitational Conference. We thank you for joining us on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. Carlo Pamentuan, Neil Flores on the call. And Neil, I know it's very early here in our tournament, here in our Invitationals, but these two teams really have to get things going right here, right now.
That is correct. They're trying to score bounce-back wins. They're coming from losses, and we know that only the top 4 teams will proceed to the next round, and they will be joined by 2 foreign guest teams in the Invitationals.
Spicing things up as always here in Spiker Surf. But Neil, run us through the team standings. You will see that the Sea Lions are still looking for their first win. This will be their 3rd try.
Right now, the top 4 is Signal, UST Crisscross, and Alpha. Pero hindi naman nalalayo yung Savoj for FEU-DN Steel. This is just their 2nd game, so this is the perfect opportunity for them to get on the board. And as for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, they do want to snap that 2-game losing skid if they still want to be in contention for the next round.
It's a good battle that features one of our Spiker Surf mainstays in the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. I'm sure that you're all aware of how they attack, of how they compete in these competitions. But for their last game against the Golden Spikers of UST, they were just blank. Nothing going right on offense for them. The defense, sure, was there, but in terms of offense, no one scoring on double digits for the entire squad.
They just got overwhelmed by the firepower of UST. We know that a collegiate system is also very different. They're very agile. The speed is definitely there. And I would say even the defense was on and off for PGJC Navy. But, you know, the bright spot there was Jacqueline King. She really played a good defensive game. But taking a look at the statistics in that match, ang layo nung agwat dun sa attacking department. 43 for UST, only 28 for PGJC Navy Sea Lions. And given the fact that UST actually gave them a lot of opportunities, they gave them 30 free points, hindi pa rin enough to overwhelm them.
Neil, you already mentioned his name earlier. He was the best player because his defense has always been there. We know that he's a veteran. Certainly one of the most reliable in terms of reception, in terms of digs. He will have to work extra hard against the fiery offense of FEU as well.
Yeah, great stats for Jacqueline King. We know that he is also one of the standouts sa ating Alas Pilipinas pool. 53% in service reception, and he also got 6 digs. Iniwasan talaga siya because UST knew that he was the steadiest defender and receiver on the floor, so they tried their best to target the other players, and the other players definitely struggled. So today, I'm sure that Jacqueline King will get a bigger zone in receiving and digging.
On the other side, moving on to their opponents, as FEU, they are coming off a 4-set loss, but there were signs of life. There were silver linings against the Spin Doctors in their last game, losing that game in 4 sets.
Yeah, FEU is actually coming off a championship in the Collegiate Challenge Cup. That's why they're here competing in the Spiker Surf. And this is a familiar foe for them in the Savoj Spin Doctors, but they fell short. It was error-prone game, I would say, for FEU. And the attacks were there. Hindi naman problema ng FEU yung attacking. They have all the tools even in the blocking system, I think that they did really well, especially in that third set. But ultimately, it was really Saboch who came out on top. Look at that, 31 unforced errors. A lot of those coming from the service line galing sa FEU-DN Steel Tamaraws. And the blocking was there. Yan yung gagamitin nila today against PGJC Navy. But they have to minimize those free points.
30 errors and then you will lose 3 sets by 3 or 4 points. Kaya napakasakit ng talong yan for FEU-DN Steel. But the bright spot for them, Drix Saavedra. I mean, at this point, you already know what he can deliver.
Time flies so fast. I remember Drix in his rookie year. Now he's already a senior for FEU and he still continues to be the King Tamaraw. Still the best option for the setters on the floor for FEU. 19 points and efficiency was sky high for him. 53% on his first game, and that is just a glimpse of what he can deliver or what he can bring to the table for the Tamaraws.
And I'm sure he will have a lion's share of the offense here in this matchup after finishing with 18 attacks and 1 block in their last game. We do invite each and every one of you to join our discussions online, and you can use the hashtag SpikersTurf2025 for all your opinions, all of your analysis for our matchup. We're ready to get things going as we send it over to our venue announcer to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you inside the Paco Arena in the city of Manila. This is Season 8 of the Spikers Turf, where power meets passion. This is match number 7 of the 2025 Invitational Conference, the preliminary round matchup between the PGJC Navy Sea Lions and their opponents, the Far Eastern University-DN Steel Tamaraws. Introducing the 2 referees officiating this match. Our first referee is Josie Del Rosario, International Referee. Second referee, Joven Racelis, National Referee. Let's now meet the starters. First, for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Middle blocker number 7, Penny Kuramin. Setter number 14, Seaman First Class, Marvin Hairami. Middle blocker apprentice Seaman number 15, Peter Cal. Outside spikers, their team captain number 16, Seaman First Class, Greg Dolor. Opposite hitter, Seaman Second Class, number 18, Toto de la Vega. And outside spiker, Seaman First Class, number 25, Adiel Rosete. Starting libero, Seaman First Class, number 13, Jack Kalingking. The head coach for Navy is George Pasqua. And now the starters for the FEU-DN Steel Tamaraws. Setter number 3, team captain Ariel Cacao. Outside spiker number 6, Paul Salporo. Opposite hitter number 9, Drixa Avedra. Middle blocker number 11, Lyric Mendoza. Another middle blocker number 15, Dula Tongkala. And outside spiker number 19, Amit Pitwin. Starting libero number 1, Benny Cepalios. Head coach for FEU is Ed Orculio.
And your starters for this matchup, Dolor Kiel Hairami with De La Vega, Juramen, Rosete, and Kalingking for PGJC Navy. On the other side, it is going to be Mendoza Saavedra, Cacao as the setter, Dongala Salboro between, and Ceballos as the libero for FEU-DN Steel. We're ready to get things going in a warm Paco Arena because there's a lot of people here, Neil. It feels like a finals game already. These two teams have not yet even picked up their first win, but a lot of people wearing green and yellow in support of the Tamaraws.
Every win is important, definitely. Lalo na single round robin na lang tayo sa first round. We don't know kung ano yung magic number pa for them to get through the next round. It really depends on the performance of the other teams. But one thing's for sure, mahirap makabounce back from a 0-3 win-loss card. So for PGJC Navy, they really need to leave everything on the floor to get that first win. Nakita na agad natin that Toto de la Vega is back in the starting unit.
Yep.
Kailangan na kailangan nila yung numbers niya, especially with Greg Dolor there in their last game that I covered. It was really Greg Dolor who carried the load offensively for the Sea Lions. And as for FEU, they're showcasing their rookie in the starting unit. That's Salboro, a beach volleyball player, but now he's playing indoor after the Spikers turf. Sabi nila, he'll be focusing on the UAAP beach volleyball naman.
Interesting. However, this is going to be an attack error coming from Drix Saavedra, 2-0. It's always good, Neil, no, when you start things off with your first point being a kill block. Parang nakakataas ng kumpiyansa agad.
And yun yung pinakamasarap sa feeling for volleyball players. Even if you take a look at the match statistics, yung blocking yung isa sa stat lines na pinakamababa. Because it is very difficult to get kill blocks against strong attackers.
So the player who got kill blocked earlier in between will deliver the first point for FEU-DN Steel, and he will be serving here to continue with the match. Dolor receives. Dolor will hit and connect.
There's also a different kind of motivation, I guess, for Greg Dolor.
Yeah.
This is his alma mater, so he wants to perform really well.
Pero matagal-tagal na rin namang tapos sa college.
Matagal na rin. Peter Kell is also from FEU.
Of course, a mainstay of this PGJC Navy squad. Over reception, and that is an easy point for Peter Kell.
Passing is becoming a problem for the Tamaraws.
Still going to that strong jump serve, but this one wide coming from Greg Dolor, as he will donate the second point for FEU here in our first set. Dongala, his first time to serve in this matchup. Airami sets it up. They go to Kiel, but he was picked up. Saavedra. Dug up by Kalingking, but a little too close to that post. And that will be the first point of Saavedra.
Maganda pa din nahawakan ni Jack Kalingking yung bola ni Drix Saavedra.
Sorry, second point for Drix Saavedra in this matchup, as they're only down by 1. Dongala continues to serve. Ill time coming from De La Vega. They go to Mendoza, a little short on that attack.
There were no blockers there
for
Lyric Mendoza. Hindi lang sila nag-connect ni Ariel Cacao. I guess the set was a bit
short,
low for Lyric Mendoza, and this guy can jump.
Peter Kiel with the serve. They will go back to Mendoza immediately.
And when you have high leaping middle blockers like Lyric Mendoza at ang haba pa ng galamay, you really have to put some height into that set.
Of course, FEU, one of the top collegiate programs in terms of men's volleyball. Saavedra with a nice serve. Airami sets it up to the other side. That is Rosete getting the kill. He did not see action in their last game. What does he bring to the table, Neil?
A lot of offense, definitely. One thing's for sure, kailangan ng PGJC Navy ng tulong in terms of scoring. Hindi pwedeng puro si Greg Dolor, because even in their last games, kahit na ang dami niyang pinupuntos, at a certain point in the game, mababantayan siya. So somebody has to step up to support the numbers of Dolor.
Is that wide? Yes, it is. Coming from Salboro. They're giving him opportunities, but just could not connect with that one. Toto de la Vega. I mean, it's just good to see him playing again. I know people are aware of the health struggles that he had. Took him a while to get back, but now back in action. Salboro answering back. But you're seeing a theme from FEU. If you make a mistake, they give the ball right back to you.
That's just the trust of the setter sa mga attackers niya. Actually, kahit sino, pwede puntahan ni Kakao. Kahit na nasa likod si Drake Saavedra and Salboro, he can still set those balls to the back row.
Tremendous serve. That would be limited options on offense for Navy. Saavedra picked up. Jairami sets it up. Back row attack denied. And then one more chance to score. Between connects as he inches FEU closer. Still down by 1 though.
Sea Lions just couldn't control the power in that ball, and that resulted to that overpass.
Another decent serve. Jairami though goes to the quick. Slide play. Oh! Salvador win an unexpected back row attack, but somehow, some way, that will end up as a point of a miscue from Navy.
I think they wanted to go for a slide attack pero hindi na-communicate ng maayos. Sometimes yung setters and attackers hindi nagkakarinigan dahil sa ingay din ng mga taong nandito. Always have to be aware dun sa instructions ng setter.
But Rosete providing instant impact for Navy as we'll head to the first technical timeout of our opening set. 8-7, 1 point lead for Navy.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025 with a lot of revelations here and there for the FEU Tamaraws. Paul Salboro happens to be just that in their previous match against the Savage. But you know, unexpected kumbaga yung performance ni Paul. Sabi niya, even getting subbed in was something he didn't anticipate at all, as his focus is mostly on beach volleyball. Training for both outdoor and indoor is more than enough drive for him to deliver his best as a rookie. Sabi nga ni Paul, playing in the UAAP is the dream, and playing for FEU is the dream come true. But for now, back to you, Carlin.
Thank you so much for that report. As we resume live action, FEU getting themselves going. Tied matchup once again at 8 apiece.
Now seeing the blocking system of FEU. They got more blocks compared to their counterparts in their last outing.
They go back to that slide. Oh, recovery on defense. Between will get a chance to attack. Jairami sets it up. And that touch would be enough to send it out of bounds. Toto de la Vega scoring to get the lead back for Navy.
That's what they missed. Talking about PGJC Navy. Yung mga back row hits ni Joven de la Vega, he was once the best scorer for the Sea Lions bago pa man dumating sila Greg Dolor.
That will be a net touch. So even with the over-reception, nakapuntos itong FEU. As we are headed into a challenge. PGJC Navy convinced that it should not have been a net fault against them.
There's a chance na bola yung tumama sa tape ng net, but there's also a chance that it was Ariel Cacao who actually committed that violation.
So might as well, di ba? If you are PGJC Navy. I messaged FEU's athletic director, Coach Mark Molina. I said, wow, amazing support coming from FEU to pack the Paco Arena. He said, it's not just us. They can't claim all the credit because their partner, DN Steel, also sends their employees to watch the games and support. So that is why it is extra humid inside Paco Arena.
It's just the first game.
Sure.
Oh, it was Ariel Cacao who touched the net.
Spotted.
That point will be awarded to the Sea Lions.
And then yung ngiti ng head coach pag successful challenge, matamis eh, no?
Yeah.
Iba yung iba yung ningning. So that's a 2-point lead now for PGJC Navy. They went to a quick, but they did not get that perfectly. Block though was there for between. Play continues. Dolor scores off the check.
That's the right angle for Greg Dolor. You always have to target the shorter blocker.
But immediately, Neil, you can feel it's a different Navy squad that showed up for this matchup.
We're already seeing the smooth flow in their game on both offense and defense.
Rosete could not get to that ball quickly enough. As FEU will get an answer. Ariel Cacao serving now. Their team captain, their setter. Not the best of receptions.
No check there. Point for FEU.
Peter Kiel sending that attack wide. Back down to a 1-point Navy lead. Here, back to Dolor with the hang time. He's picked up from behind. Now between. Ball goes back to their side. Between will try again. He gets this one through.
Too much power for the double block of PGJC Navy.
I think that might have slammed off the head of Peter Kiel.
Between attack the seam.
Wow.
There was a small gap between Jairami and Kiel.
Got through to tie this ball game at 11 apiece. Cacao continues to serve for FEU. Chance ball now. One-handed set. Oh, but it continues. Jairami sends it across. Saavedra of the check. Great angle on that hit.
This is the best rotation in terms of offense for FEU-DN Steel.
Yeah.
You have Amit between Dula Dongala and Drek Saavedra. Yung near presence pa lang ni Dula, mapapasabay niya yung middle blocker ng PGJC Navy.
1-point lead now for FEU. There he is. That's the effect.
Might be better for PGJC Navy to keep on going to the left and right pins. Kahit ipag-alternate nila yung left and right pins nila para lang humabol si Dongala on the block.
Make him guess a little bit. Jairami, there we go. To the other side we go. And it is immediately effective coming from De La Vega.
Has been his go-to play in this first set, that back row attack. May mga attackers, mas preferred pa nga nila to attack from the back kasi mas kita nila yung court ng kabilang team.
Not a great reception, a one-handed set somehow. They make do with it as Saavedra converts again.
That is such an easy angle for Drek Saavedra.
As a lefty. No?
As a lefty. Wala nang isip-isip pa. Just using that flick of the wrist.
They go to the middle, blocked by Dongala. De La Vega will try, and he will score.
The Sea Lions have been trying to challenge the middle blockers of FEU dun sa quick attack nila, pero hindi lumulusot eh. So, they have to change things up.
Trying to tie things up again would be Greg Dolor, serving now for PGJC Navy. Good pickup from Ceballos. Meanwhile, Salboro hammers it home.
Where did that come from? Well, Salboro coming in hot from the left side. That's an exclamation point. What an angle.
Dongala serving now for FEU. That was slowed down by the blockers. Rosete, found the angle. And if you target Dongala low, you'll have a good chance of scoring.
That's what I like about the Sea Lions. Sometimes hindi perfect yung nagiging setup. May mga off-system plays. But the wing spikers just go for it. They're not giving free balls to FEU because they know nababalik ng malakas yung bola.
Oh, that crosses. Lucky break for FEU. Meanwhile, Rosete with a soft touch picked up. Saavedra sets it up. Salboro. A weak attack there. And that's the response. You cannot give PGJC opportunities like that. You just pointed it out, Neil.
We're now tied up at 15.
Last point before we head into our second technical timeout. Salboro. Easy pickup. Kuramen sets it up and Rosete sends it home. They will take the lead once again. Heading into our second technical timeout. They're up 16-15 against FEU.
Guys, I'm Joshua Ibanez and... Hi guys, I'm inviting you to watch... Uy! Hi guys, my name is... Look! Ala, nagulat ako. Ala, tatunay ko ba? Hi.
Happy Halloween, everyone. As we're coming to you from the Paco Arena, you can see our seats packed with supporters, mostly from FEU-DN Steel. As we welcome you back to our coverage live on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. Carlo Pamintuan and Neil Flores on the call.
Good numbers coming from Greg Dolor and Rick Saavedra. They both have 4 points each. 44% efficiency for Greg Dolor, 57% for Drix.
And that will climb a little bit higher.
That 5 points for Drix Saavedra. Here comes the double sub. Duot and Miguel will check in for Saavedra and Cacao. FEU-DN Steel actually has 3 setters in their lineup right now. Benny Martinez is still there. There will also be a substitution for PGJC Navy. Bodge Castel will check in for the very first time.
One of their vets, one of their taller players. As it will be Duot who will be serving here. On the slide, he just checked in. Bonch Castel scoring immediately.
Well, Bonch Castel will provide more height, more offense also. Ang ganda rin ng bunot ni Coach George Pasqua. He is one of the seasoned players in this lineup.
De La Vega back to the service area. Oh, that was a strong one. Meanwhile, Miguel. What about these subs?
All of the substitutions from both ends of the court are working. More subs for Coach George Pasqua.
Paulino, number 1, and Saria coming in, replacing Jairami and De La Vega.
There's just something about collegiate teams. Parang may extra spring sila to their jump.
Meanwhile, a service error will donate a point for PGJC Navy, allowing them to reclaim the lead 18-17 with Rosete serving. Good reception this time. Nice defense from PGJC Navy, but even better from FEU, as that will be a net fault against Navy.
There was also a center line fault called on Paulino. Set was just too tight for him.
Lyric Mendoza now serving to break this deadlock. Oh, that's way wide coming from Dolor.
Ball was too flat for Greg Dolor. FEU will overtake the Sea Lions 19-18.
Crucial part of the matchup. A short serve picked up by Dolor. That one pushed too strong across.
That is a painful error for PGJC Navy.
And as a result, they will call a timeout. We will listen in.
Sa harapan. Ngayon, hingin mo ang receive. Ito, magbabakul to. Silang ang palo, hindi sa open. Greg, malaki yung nasa cross court. Pwede mo nang i-down. Sakto lang naman i-down. Huwag mo nang ito na nalihis. Ngayon, receivein muna natin. Then, execute. Iwan mo na dito yung isa. Pau, pagdikit sa net, tapos na ng ganun. Patama sa block, tapos na ganun. Hindi para palo ng palo, ha? Discard, diba? Let's go. Let's go. Yung background.
The props are out. We have a good-sized crowd here in the Paco Arena.
For sure.
Just the first of the 3 games we have our Halloween special.
Two-point lead, which feels like a luxury for FEU at this point of the set. Another good serve from Mendoza. But this time, they get caught with a net fault. FEU giving the point to Navy.
There's another solid block. Sana for FEU-DN Steel. But Miguel touched the net.
Sumabit paakyat. They will go to between. Good angle on that attack. Rosete keeps it in play, and Dolor manages to send it across. We play on. Oh, mighty hit. That was tremendous coming from Miguel.
Power was enough to get a good rebound. The sweeper tried to chase that ball.
The starters come back in Saavedra and Cacao. So the unit, the front line that you mentioned earlier, back together again between Dongala and Saavedra. But the speed of that attack, too much to handle for the FEU defense coming from Dolor.
I think creativity na hinahanap natin from PGJC Navy. Greg Dolor can also go to plays na ginagawa ng middle blocker. That was a faster shoot set to the left side. Almost looked like a be quick for him.
Ayrami serving for the Navy. Oh, Cacao chasing it across between. Now a chance. Oh, there's a net touch. Definite net touch coming from Saavedra as we're tied again.
Sometimes over-eagerness talaga can backfire. When you know that you're going to get a kill block already against the attacker of the other team, mas nanggigigil ka, kaya mas prone to touch the net.
Now a timeout from FEU-DN Steel.
Si Greg, commit ka. Middle, tapos opposite. Tatlo spiker, di ba? Itong tao na nandito, wala yan. Saan tumakbo yung middle? Dito. Saan tumakbo si Greg? B. Ito, lalabas, lumupunta. 5. Tao isa. Middle. Ikaw. Saan siya galing? Pag gano'n, di ba? O yun ang banata mo dito sa harapan. O ganyan. Tapos you. In front of the blanca, spiker. Penetrate. Tapos 1, 2, 3. Tara, linisan natin. FEU! Pasa muna.
Timeout for instructions, but also to break a bit of momentum coming now from the PGJC Navy. FEU will have to recover quickly. They were already ahead by 2 points. Now, back to a deadlock. Oh, that's a giveaway. And sometimes that timeout is also to freeze that server.
Good timeout from Coach Ed Orculio. perfect pass.
And that will score coming from Peter Kiel of the Czech.
It's going to be a race to 3 between these two teams. Pag nasa ganitong point na tayo ng game, one good pass will always equate to one good point.
Decent pass. Salboro finds the angle. He's been flying from that side, Neil.
He's not the tallest outside hitter on the floor for FEU, but when he jumps, I feel like he's 6'4". At ang tangkad na ni Peter Kiel, sa ibabaw pa niya dumadaan yung bola.
Not a great pass there coming from Dolor. Limited angles, and that won't cross for De La Vega. Now at set point, FEU-DN Steel. Navy will call another timeout.
Huwag mong madalin yung set mo, relax ka lang. Hindi kami namadali, dumiskarte ka lang. Huwag mong patayin yung bola sa kamay mo. Ikaw ang playmaker. Ikaw dapat ang mas relax, mas composure, mas focus. Kasi sayang eh, nadidepensahan eh. Nagkakaroon na ng set. Kausapin mo nga yung spiker mo, and then tulong na lang sa setter. Itaas nila ng bola para kahit po paano makapag-isip sa kaagad. Pagka sobrang bilis, wala, natataranta siya eh. Tulong na lang. So, naintindihan. So, okay, atake mo ito. Bato mo na isa ron.
That timeout was focused on the setter. Mahirap gawa ng parang yung bola pag lumagpas sa antena. So he has to slow things down. Alam naman niya yung preferred sets ng attackers niya. And lahat ng bola dumadaan sa setter. So it's really up to them na mapaganda yung bola.
Chance to win this first set. Donggala serving. Airami to Rosete. Again, targeting. Donggala defensively, making him move, making him crouch and reach for those balls.
High clearance attack there from Rosete.
And before we play the next point, another timeout, this time on the side of FEU-DN Steel.
Okay tayo. Kailangan natin. Dahan-dahan na pasa. Pag contact, walang galaw. Kaya mo dito ganyan. Tumama. Tumama muna bago ka gumalaw. Hindi sabay ha. Pag tamang gagalaw ka, walang ganon. Okay, so ang gagawin natin, timeout lang. Okay, let's go. Let's go! FEU! FEU!
What did you pick up from that last timeout, Neil?
I would say na may advantage yung FEU in this next rally kasi sila aatake. Pero magagawa lang nila yan if they get a good pass. We've seen a lot of decent passes naman in the last few rallies. And Ariel Cacao still has a full front line.
Oh, they go to the other side, and it is Saavedra sending it home to win this first set. You saw the defense of Navy veer towards one end.
But that was already an obvious choice for Ariel Cacao. For PGJC Navy, they saw the pass na nasa left side. They forgot about Rick Saavedra. When push comes to shove, Ariel Cacao will always look for their best scorer. And that's it for FEU getting first blood.
That was a one-on-one scoring for Drix Saavedra. They win the first set 25-23 against PGJC Navy. We'll take a quick break. Second set when we come back. 25-23 after the first set in favor of FEU-DN Steel. It was PGJC Navy who got the better start. They were ahead at the end of the first technical timeout and in the second technical timeout as well. But a late surge from FEU, their offense finally clicking as they outlast the Sea Lions in the first set.
In the previous game, we mentioned that PGJC Navy had an off game defensively and in reception din. But in set number 1, I would say na naging steady sila on the floor. They had the same number of attacks as FEU. Yun nga lang, in the tail end, yung mga crucial, simple errors yung nagbigay ng advantage sa FEU. For FEU, they're continuing to get kill blocks. They had 13 kill blocks against the Savage Spin Doctors. And now they have 3 for the Sea Lions. They weren't able to register any kill blocks or service aces, unforced errors. Halos pantay lang tayo. So it just boiled down to the last few moments of set number 1.
I thought the first point of the matchup was a kill block for the Sea Lions. Was not registered as such.
It might have been
a net violation.
Yes, net violation.
So let's see how they try to bounce back.
The Australian team is actually here inside the venue, scouting the competition. Papasok lang sila after the first round alongside the Japanese team in Kindai University.
Aga naman dumating dito.
I think they're already training here. Scout na nila lahat. And compressed din naman yung schedule natin. So baka bakasyon na din for them habang naghihintay.
Bit of R&R, di ba? Pwede kang mag-corona at saka El Nido bago ka lumaban. As we're ready to begin our second set here inside the Paco Arena. And we thank you for joining us on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. The late telecast on One Sports as well. Carlo Pamintuan and Neil Flores on the call. With May Reyes as our courtside reporter. FEU fans having a bit of fun during the break. Definitely making their presence felt as he opened the second set with Kakao serving. And a quick point for PGJC Navy courtesy of Hairami.
Dula Dongala will come off the bench for the Tamaraws. Chad Absin will get the starting nod. Same starting unit for the Sea Lions.
Amazing recovery there coming from between. But he was not able to get into position quickly enough on defense, allowing that point from PGJC Navy.
Kitang-kita ni Hairami that between was still on the floor. That's why for setters, ang daming nangyayari sa thought process nila. Titingnan muna nila kung nasaan yung blockers before they make a decision kung kanino nila isa-set yung bola.
Good serve. Chance ball here for PGJC Navy. Amazing set coming from Greg Dolor, pretending that he was going to send that across already, instead sending it to Peter Kiel.
Hot start for the Sea Lions. It's an open block for Peter Kiel.
Walang depensa. 3-0. Another good serve between. Well, slow down. Hairami to De La Vega, but there will be a net touch against FEU. That's a 4-0 start now for the Sea Lions.
It's a similar start for both teams. We're seeing shaky passing ulit from FEU. And it took them a while before they settled in that aspect of their game. Pero ngayon, 4 na yung lamang ng Sea Lions. You need to get on the board.
Between will get them there. Well, one thing you can say about FEU-DN Steel is that early disadvantages, those do not phase them at all. They know they can come back into this matchup, but that will not help. A service error against Between.
It's another free point for the Sea Lions. FEU had 31 unforced errors in 4 sets against the Spin Doctors. Yan din yung gusto nilang i-improve heading into this game. Oh, was that the right hand of Drix Saavedra?
Where'd that come from?
And may power.
Pang hindi kaliwete yung set eh.
Ambidextrous.
Adjust na lang. Gawan ng paraan. Meanwhile, Rosete at the sent back. And the quick point. FEU starting to heat up now, 3 unanswered.
If you want to go to that drop ball, you have to make sure na mataas yung clearance dahil ang tatangkad ng blockers ng FEU.
Yeah. Looking for their 4th straight point. Great effort as this rally will continue. Jairami to Peter Kiel on the middle. And that is sent outside by Absin.
Lead us back to 4. Make that 3. Official score is 6 for the Sea Lions, 3 for the Tamaraws.
This time around with his stronger left hand, Drix Saavedra will inch them within 2.
It's really going to be the challenge for the Sea Lions. Kailan sila magko-commit kay Drix Saavedra?
Yeah.
Sometimes they can gamble eh. The right wing spiker rather can help in blocking the middle blocker of FEU para may hahabol sa right side.
Another slide attack coming from Bonch Castel. It has looked good when he entered this ball game as a late substitute in our first set. Couple of points for him quickly. De La Vega serving. They go to Mendoza, and that is a rocket perfectly set up.
Out of reach for the blockers of the Sea Lions. Look at that wind-up from Lyric Mendoza. He was only up against a single blocker.
Where will Jairami go? Oh, nice dive from Briones, and Saavedra picked up by Dolor. Joven de la Vega! Scores on the other side, but I think there will be a challenge. Foot fault, maybe? Yeah.
Is a football challenge. So we will check that first before we head into our technical timeout.
So we will check our camera angles to see if it would be a legal attack from De La Vega or if he stepped on that white line on his approach. Good challenge coming from FEU-DN Steel because you could possibly take away a point and add to your totals, which will make this a 1-point game instead of 3. So we're looking at it. Oh, it's clear. Unsuccessful challenge coming from FEU-DN Steel as we'll head into our first technical timeout with Navy leading 8-5.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Spiker Surf Invitational Conference 2025. A lot of nostalgic feelings here inside the Paco Arena, especially with the return of Joven de la Vega for the Navy Sea Lions. Joven and the rest of the Navy are all getting their groove back though, and still even their chemistry built. Since mix sila of all the new faces in the team, sabi nila communication is something they're working on, pati na rin ang service and reception. And now that we're in the second set, what do you think, Carlo and Neil?
Well, first, yes, it's good to see Joven De La Vega back in action, and he has certainly given a different look for the offense of PGJC Navy, although it will be FEU. That will be the first to score after the technical timeout.
Joven De La Vega already has 4 points under his name. Support the 5 of Greg Dolor. It has been a balanced output for the attackers of PGJC Navy.
A check ball. Scoring for Greg Dolor. It looked high, but it was touched by the defense. Back to a 3-point lead for PGJC Navy with Castel. Back serving. They go to between. Perfect approach. And he hits the line.
Target was locked on zone 1. Again, he targeted the shorter blocker in Hairami.
Cacao, team captain, serving again for FEU. De La Vega picked up by Salboro. Between, will try again. This time it's flat. It will sail out of bounds.
No challenge from FEU-DN Steel. Sea Lions are just trying to maintain this 3-point lead. I think that's a good lead moving forward. It's not safe though.
Yeah. But at least some separation. Cacao will go to Obsin and it will score. We have not seen a lot of quicks here in this second set for FEU.
They're just using their middle blockers as decoys.
Yeah.
And sobrang effective just by looking at the numbers of Drix Saavedra, Salboro, and Amit Tuwin. You can already tell na gumagana yung game plan ni Ariel Cacao.
Amit between serving straight to the net. I think that's his second service error for this match.
Most of their errors in that game against Savoj actually came from the service line.
Greg Dolor is serving now. Another quick. That is Absin scoring again.
He heard you. You were looking for more quick attacks. He gave it to you.
Two in rapid succession. Now you have to worry more about your pin hitters. Oh, good block from Salboro.
Reading like a book.
Back-to-back points for FEU-DN Steel. So now they're just down by 1.
This is why it's very important to mark the person in front of you. Another unforced error off the service line for FEU, but in the blocking department, they are continuing to deliver 5 kill blocks for FEU-DN Steel. Wala pa for PGJC Navy.
That was a good pass. Now Salboro will make sure that they will get a point off of it.
It was such a simple play from Ariel Cacao, but it was very effective. We are not seeing a lot of combination plays in the middle.
Yeah.
Pero hawak na hawak ni Ariel Cacao yung tamang timing. So even if he defaults to yung mga simple A-quicks, left-right pin setting, sobrang effective pa rin for FEU-DN Steel.
But PGJC Navy staying ahead. They get another point coming from Rosete. Again, did not see action in their last game. And now making a definite impact. Back to a 2-point lead. Strong serve from De La Vega. Oh, another hit in the middle from Mendoza.
They're just down by a single point. Substitution for FEU-DN Steel, Miko Espartero will replace Salboro. I mean, Amit Bituin.
That's a nice ovation coming from the FEU fans here inside the Paco Arena. Salboro will serve. On the slide once again. Good effort from Salboro. And that is wide against Rosete. But again, you saw dun sa pagtanggap ni Salboro that it connected to his body twice. But because it was one effort, it was one motion, it is still deemed as legal. That cross-court hit too much and no touch. As FEU will get the lead 14-13.
From 3 points down. Back-to-back unforced errors for PGJC Navy. More substitutions for Coach George Pascua. Leo will check in.
Alongside Saria. Now we're ready to restart the action. It's Salboro continuing to serve. It all starts there. Now this is a tough ball to get to. Salboro keeps it in play. Espartero off the block.
First attempt, first point for Miko Espartero. He's really part of the starting unit of FEU-DN Steel. It's just that siguro gusto bigyan ni Coach Ed ng exposure yung rookie nila in Salboro.
And so far he's delivering. Saria sets it up. I don't think that was touched, but we play on nonetheless. They go back to Espartero. Foot fault. Halting the exchange. So in these types of challenges, you best be sure because you are giving up a point if you're wrong.
It's a mid-rally challenge for FEU-DN Steel.
I thought they could have challenged the 4 touches on that slide attack. Oh, but this one pretty clear. It was a mistake, an attacking error, a foot fault for the successful challenge. So, from down 3 to up 3, FEU will head into our second technical timeout of 16-13.
Siyempre, nakita din naman ng mga fans namin nung nag-champion kami dito sa V-League. Nakita din naman nila kung paano kami nagtrabaho, kung paano namin nakuha yung championship sa V-League. Na yung i-expect lang nila is papalakasin pa namin yung team, papaangatin pa namin yung team.
Strong turnaround coming from FEU-DN Steel. It was like 5-0 to start this set. But then there was no panic coming from the side of the Tamaraws. Slowly, surely got back into it. And aided by a couple of mistakes coming from the Sea Lions. FEU now enjoying a 3-point advantage. They just need a side out, still can't get it. This is wide.
That has been the story. Set number 2. Just too many errors for PGJC Navy, but there's a challenge. It's a block touch challenge for the Sea Lions.
They desperately need this point just to halt the momentum coming from FEU-DN Steel. Will they get a successful challenge here? Let's see if that ball was touched by the defense on its way out. Walang umaamin, no? Neil, dito sa FEU. No one admitting to it. And the FEU fans taking this as an opportunity to cheer for their squad. Was there a touch? None.
Unsuccessful challenge for the Sea Lions. It's another unforced error on their end. From 3 points down, FEU-DN Steel is now up by 4.
We're saying 3 points down because of this current server. He has stayed here for all those points, all 7 of them for this turnaround. But if you compute the entire set, starting from 0 to 5 was FEU. Another good serve from Salboro. Outside, another attacking error as everything's falling apart for the Sea Lions.
It is ironic that they are struggling offensively because, I mean, you have Greg Dolor, Joven de la Vega, Rosete, and Bonj Castel all ready to attack. Pero hindi pumapasok yung mga bola nila. That will force Coach George Pascua to burn his final challenge opportunity.
But you understand where he's coming from. He is trying to affect the momentum of this matchup. These are challenges, yes, but also maybe pseudo timeouts. Just for his squad to calm things down a little bit, chill out. As they have looked shaky as of late.
He just wants a break point. Even yung passing ng PGJC Navy nagkakaproblema na.
And that is directly related to the quality of your attacks, di ba? Yung first ball, another unsuccessful challenge, so that will be it for this second set for Coach George Pascua. Ten-point turnaround so far for FEU-DN Steel. As Salboro continues to serve. Over reception coming from Kalingking. They scramble. Good block. Castel kept it alive. De la Vega to Dolor. Picked up by Saavedra. They go to Mendoza. Not a lot of power behind it. Ayrami. Awkward attack, but somehow it will result to a point. Nag-alangan din yung blockers nila.
That's a very important break point for PGJC Navy. FEU is already approaching the 20-point mark.
Now they need a counter rally. Rosete serving. Oh, that won't help. Straight into the net.
Can't do anything about that.
A rare service error coming from PGJC Navy, but it comes at such a costly point in this second set. Another chance ball here for FEU. Saavedra sends it long, no block touch. Mendoza was requesting for it. Drick said, nope, I don't think there was any. So let's not burn up a challenge.
And ayaw nila masayang yung momentum
nila.
Na malaki pa yung lamang nila.
Yeah.
They want to continue playing, just fight for the next point.
You have your opponents with their backs against the wall. You want to play on as quickly as you can. One-handed set, toss to the other side. Kiel. And now the quick results to another point. Absin has done tremendously here in the second set.
FEU-DN Steel is getting so many opportunities to run their plays in transition. Gumaan din yung bola na binibigay ng PGJC Navy. Let's try to listen in.
Taas ng bola, hingi kayo ng bola. Huwag kayong maghintay. Hanapin niyo yung bola sa depensa. Kung gusto niyo dumipensa, kailangan mas aggressive tayo sa floor. Nawawala yung floor defense natin, wala na yung block natin, wala pa yung floor defense. Tulungan sa baba. Collective effort ba? Eh mag-effort tayo. Nandiyan lang naman yung bola, tumatama sa block. Dapat mayangat na natin yun. Huwag yung sayangin. Namamatay na yung bilis ng bola eh. Tapos nababayaan pa natin. Yung mga chance lang pupunta sa atin. Mapupunta pa sa kanila. Lima! Hindi naman sila.
A 5-point lead, the biggest of the ball game for FEU-DN Steel. 20-15, looking to win the second set. And comeback variety. It's kept alive. Espartero off the block and out.
FEU-DN Steel is pulling away here. Saka naman sa kanila, 6 points naman ang lamang kanina. 5 was the highest for the Sea Lions.
But what happened, Neil? When did it fall apart for the Sea Lions?
It was when they started to commit unforced errors. It's becoming a confidence issue, I would say, because even yung mga broken plays, mas magaan na yung binibitawan na bola ng PGJC Navy.
Another timeout after 2 points because this lead has ballooned to 7 for FEU-DN Steel.
Pinag-usapan natin kapon. Pinag-usapan natin kapon. Receive, block, saka service. Yun ang tatlo yun. Kung nagsiservice sa kalaban, ibahin natin sa receive. Kasi nag-ahabol tayo. So yun lang ang tayong ano natin. Yung service receive na yan, basic yan. Pero yun yung pinakamalaking puntos na para manalo tayo. Huwag kayong bibitaw dyan sa dalawang yan. And then yung blocking natin, ginawa natin kahapon yan. Hindi na bago sa inyo yung scenario na yan. I-execute nyo lang, i-apply nyo lang dito, ha? Let's go!
I remember coming from Coach George Pascua to remember the work that they put in yesterday because the blocking, well, it's not there yet.
They haven't registered any kill block. Reception woes also continue for the Sea Lions.
The attacking errors have piled up as well. And again, they've burned up all their challenges, so nothing to do there. But just accept that this lead is now at 8 for FEU.
They're trying to target the fingertips of the Tamaraws.
Finally, a good point. Perfectly run as Peter Kell scores on a quick.
They'll only get a chance to run those types of attacks pag maganda yung pasa.
Yeah.
It's one of the best passes so far in the set for the Sea Lions. FU is just 2 points away.
And they go to Drix Saavedra, who will get it through.
Might be at the 60% efficiency mark. And pag patapos na yung FEU, si Ariel Cacao automatic binibigay kay Drix Saavedra.
Doon sa porsyento ka pupunta eh. Good serve. Picked up by Saavedra now. They go right back to him and he delivers. 2-0 for FEU-DN Steel.
Same result for the Tamaraws. Back-to-back points for their king Tamaraw, Drix Saavedra.
Even with the defense, that double going up against him. Couldn't be stopped, couldn't be slowed down as Saavedra delivers again. An emphatic turnaround for FEU-DN Steel as they will pick up the second set to add it to their first 25-16. 2-0 is the lead for the Tamaraws.
After game kasi namin nung B-League, talagang pinilit namin mag-rest kasi sobrang haba, tuloy-tuloy yung game namin doon. So,
Dito kami sa part na siguro more on mindsetting kami. Kung paano namin i-relax ulit yung isip namin, paano kami ulit mag-isip pag-ensayo na or may game na. So talagang recovery ng katawan.
Additional sa aming mga bagong bata, which is yun yung kailangan namin kasi kailangan namin ng mga new breed. Kumbaga, yung mga sabik sa laban, sabik na sabik sila kasi syempre, first time nila makasama sa Spikers Turf, which is yung napili nilang team na samahan nila is yung PGJC Navy. So, sobrang happy namin kasi may mga katulong kami na mga bata.
Back inside the Paco Arena, where FEU currently enjoying a 2-0 lead, 25-23, 25-16. Second set started so well for PGJC Navy, scoring the first 5 points. We thought that they were going to bounce back and tie things up, but a mighty comeback coming from FEU-DN Steel. They did it with Salboro on the service line, turning things around with one great stint. And with all those errors, Neil, it was impossible for the Sea Lions to come back.
We felt the resilience of FEU-DN Steel in set number 2. And again, they outblocked PGJC Navy. So they now have 5 kill blocks in total. 3 from set number 1, 2 here in set number 2. And lumayo na sila in the attacking department considering all the unforced errors in the attacking of PGJC Navy. Nang hihinayang si Coach George because tama naman yung nagiging discard nila. It's just that di pumapasok yung mga bola and it took them a long time before they got that much needed break point. Lumayo na yung FEU. They never looked back. Now they're just one set away from getting their first win here in the Invitationals.
Massive attack advantage, 15-10 for FEU-DN Steel. As they want to send their supporters home happy. Neil, who are the leading scorers of this matchup?
Well, for PGJC Navy, we have Greg Dolor with 6, Rosete with 6, and De La Vega with 5. For FEU-DN Steel, Saavedra already has 8, Amit Bituin has 7, and Salboro has 5. So for both teams naman, balance yung production. There's no one go-to guy. It's just that for FEU-DN Steel, in the end of every single set, Drix Saavedra will always be the finisher for them.
At saka yung mga subs, no? Si Espartero nung pumasok, si Absin nung pumasok, all helped out. Well, Bonch Castel did a little bit of that for PGJC Navy as well. But just more contributors for the side of FEU-DN Steel. Now they're looking at sweeping PGJC Navy and picking up their first win of our 2025 Spikers Turf Invitationals. Bit of a delay before we start our third set. Now we're ready to begin the action. Must win for PGJC Navy. They can't allow themselves to fall. 0-3 in our team standings. And it will be Rosete serving first. Oh, bit of miscommunication. It is Kuramin instead.
Kailangan lang mabalik ng Sea Lions yung confidence nila na wala nung midpoint ng set number 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's just unreadiness coming from FEU-DN Steel. Good way to start the set. A service ace from Kuramin.
I think for Coach George Pasco, ang pinaka-hinahanap niya talaga is yung blocking system ng PGJC Navy. Sometimes they do get good rebounds against the attackers of FEU-DN Steel. Pero I guess hinahanap niya yung numbers ng kill blocks. Hindi kailangan makadami pero based sa tinraining daw nila, kailangan lumabas yun. Today, another good start for the Sea Lions. 2-0, set number 3.
exactly what you need to rebuild that confidence. Now they need to keep it going. Stay aggressive against this FEU-DN Steel squad. Quick will work out as Absin is still delivering from the middle.
Good performance from him, set number 2. Kaya siya ulit ang nasa starting unit. In the third, Miko Espartero also starting for FEU-DN Steel. Overpass.
Reception. Buti na lang, kept alive by Kalingking. Dolor will attack, goes cross court, picked up. Kakao to Saavedra, miss hit. Lead is at 2 points for PGJC Navy. How do you shake it off? After a set as tough as the second one, paano mo kakalimutan yan? How do you move forward if you're the Sea Lions?
Coaches would always say, simulan lang natin ang tama. And sa tatlong set naman na nilaro natin, maganda yung simula ng PGJC Navy. Kailangan lang nilang maging consistent, especially pag pinapressure na sila ng FEU. When FEU starts to go to different players in terms of attacks, dun nararattle yung PGJC Navy. Kaya tumatagal bago sila magka-break point. So we are looking at the recovery of PGJC Navy.
Kakao will set it up once again from the back. Oh my goodness, Espartero with a kill.
That is a cannonball from Miko Espartero. Ariel Kakao always has 4 options on the floor.
Good reception from Kalingking. Kel did not get all of it, but he got enough to score and give his side the lead back.
This is what you want to see. You want to keep it close. And you also want na madali ka makarecover. You can't give 2-3 straight points to FEU-DN Steel.
Kakao had to chase this ball. Picked up by Kalingking. Back row attack from Dolor. Kept alive. But this will be a good chance for the Sea Lions. Rosete with the jump set. Good block from Absin. To the other side we go. De La Vega picked up. Kakao to Saavedra, soft touch. Kalingking keeps it in play. Left-handed attack from Peter Kiel does not score. Saavedra. Kalingking with the effort. Rosete sends it across. Longest rally of this matchup so far.
Ooh.
Oh, kept alive, but not anymore. De La Vega got a touch, but no one could get to it.
That was probably the best rally of the
For
match.
sure.
Great defensive sequence from both FEU-DN Steel and PGJC Navy. Naiangat naman ni Toto De La Vega. Masyado lang mababa for a second touch.
Diyan mo mararamdaman yung pagod after a rally that long tapos hindi ikaw yung nakascore. Let's see how they will recover. They go to a quick. Maganda yung porsyento nito si Peter Kiel as he start the action in the third set.
Chose the right angle kasi bantay sarado na siya ni Lyric Mendoza.
Another good attack coming from Salboro. As he has a substitution.
Laquiza will replace Rosete. This guy is a high flyer. Don't let his height deceive you.
Decent reception coming from Dolor. Laquiza immediately makes an impact. Welcome to this ball game. John Robert Laquiza scored 5 points in their last match against UST. Now his first point here in the third set. Kakao chases. That is too much from Salboro. 2-point advantage for the Sea Lions.
The intention is to not give a soft touch to the defenders of PGJC Navy.
Yeah.
Kaya kahit malayo na off-system, yung wing spikers ng FEU-DN Steel, tinatry nilang lakasan pa din yung
Pinahataw pa rin, no?
palo
Yeah.
nila.
Oh, what a serve. Meanwhile, hang time results to a point coming from Mendoza.
Ariel Cacao was a bit far from the net. That's why he put more height into that set para maihabol kay Lyric Mendoza.
Salboro serving. Oh, good response coming from Kuramen as we're headed into our first technical timeout of your third set. Navy leading 8-6.
Back inside the Paco Arena, you're still watching the Spiker Surf Invitational Conference 2025. Now a permanent fixture for the FEU Tamaraws, Drix Avedra intends to make the most out of this conference. And alam nyo ba, Carlo and Neil, last night they had a team talk daw where Drix led the conversation on their mental stability during their matches and especially during their matches. Since they're competing in a whole different level and against high caliber teams, kailangan talaga nila yung buo yung loob at buo yung puso. Sabi pa ni Drix, as a senior, they really need to improve and be better than their last game, their last season, and even their most recent championship. Now back to you, Carlo and Neil.
Well, you always prefer when your best player is also your most vocal leader. Now Drix Saavedra showing us that he can be both for the FEU-DN Steel Tamaraws. They're looking good so far, up 2-0, although they're down 2 points here in the third set.
He's the first player in double digits as well for FEU-DN Steel. Ah, wow.
Right, the middles have been activated for FEU as Lyric Mendoza scores. Bonch Castel will check back in to provide more size to go up against the attackers of FEU.
Yung set din ni Ariel Cacao, if you'll notice, patumba para maiwasan yung kamay ng middle blockers ng PGJC Navy. This is going to be another chance ball for FEU-DN Steel.
Espartero off the block. It bounces out. Back-to-back points for FEU-DN Steel after the first technical timeout. They will leave us tied.
Sea Lions really have to try their best to at least make it difficult for FEU-DN Steel sa unang pasa pa lang, because when they push that ball over ng overhead or bump set, ang dali for them to just convert in transition.
Lucky break there for the Sea Lions. May sumabit sa net. I believe it was Espartero. Lead goes back to Navy, 9-8. Poor reception, and that is a service ace for Bonch Castel.
FEU-DN Steel is a good receiving team. So for the Sea Lions, they have to look for a player na magkakamali. And dun magsha-shift yung targets nila, because when a player makes a mistake, sometimes it stays in their head.
Another point will go to the Sea Lions. That attack would be wide against FEU.
So FEU-DN Steel's turn to give away free points to the Sea Lions. That's a 3-point lead for PGJC Navy.
Espartero looks like he's the target right now. Saavedra sent back. Cacao gets to it. Espartero, one more try, another. Good blocking effort from the Sea Lions. Total denial. And now they enjoy a 4-point lead.
And now, attention will shift for the Sea Lions. It's time to take care of that lead.
Yeah.
Ang hirap na nga to establish a 4-point lead. So they have to play smoothly here.
That call just out. Saavedra convinced it was in, so I think they will issue a challenge. Ball in, ball out.
He asked for that challenge.
At pagbibigyan naman siya ng coaching staff, so we will take another look at it to see if that ball touched the line or not.
That looked into me.
Yeah.
I may be wrong.
But he was sure, you know, pagtalikod niya pa lang, Neil signaled to his coaching staff that he thought it was in. Now we're just looking for the angle. Oh yeah,
That's in.
So in.
On the line for Direk Saavedra. This is the
good
rotation
answer.
they've been waiting for, talking about FEU-DN Steel.
Yeah.
Direk Saavedra has been dealing damage from the back row, pero pag nasa harap siya, sakit na rin sa ulo for the Sea Lions.
That was awkward, but still the play continues. Dolor will power it home.
I was about to say that Greg Dolor has been quiet,
Yeah.
lalo na nung set number 2, but now he gets a point for his team off that cross-court hit.
4-point lead. This is a good little advantage for the Sea Lions. Saavedra will start working on it.
Such an efficient game from Direk Saavedra. He knows his angles.
Yeah.
Alam niya kung saan siya advantage. Alam niya kung saan nakapwesto yung blockers and yung defenders in the back row.
Peter Kiel sent back. Kalingking with a dig. Kiel. Back-to-back attacks as he scores to extend their lead back up to 4. Ito yung kailangan. For every point, may sagot agad yung Sea Lions.
We're seeing a lot of activity from the middle blockers of the Sea Lions. But again, you have to credit the efforts of Jack Kalingking. Yung
Yeah.
mga first balls niya, tinataas talaga niya so that he could, you know, help his teammates get better positioning before they run their attacks. Oh.
Masyado lang mataas. Hindi na nahuli ni Hairami.
It was a great dig though from
Yeah.
Kalingking.
Let's see if FEU can get back-to-back points. Hindi nila makuha yan mula kanina. Oh, good block. One-on-one. Kill denied by Mendoza. Another kill block for FEU.
Back-to-back points for FEU-DN Steel. They have dominated the net defensively.
Nabasa yung quick. Ayun, Absin serving. Hairami had to run for it. Akiza, too strong. No touch.
Lead is down to 1. That's a 3-0 run for FEU-DN Steel.
Sea Lions kind of reliving that nightmarish turnaround in that second set. Good pickup from Espartero. Kakao with the set. And that will connect for Salboro.
That lead is gone for the Sea Lions. This has been their problem.
Yeah.
Pag nagsunod-sunod na yung attack points ng
Yeah.
FEU-DN Steel, it feels like nararattle sila. And that's a time na mas nagko-commit sila ng unforced errors.
Meanwhile, another confidence builder for FEU-DN Steel, erasing that 4-point lead. But at least a response here coming from Raquiza. A game changer coming off the bench for Coach George Pascua.
Bonch Castel will move to the front line, hopefully to get a couple of kill blocks for the Sea Lions.
Oh, there it is.
On cue.
Yeah, and that should give them good confidence heading into the second technical timeout. They hang on to the lead 16-14 against FEU-DN Steel.
Step by step. Pupunta naman tayo din sa kung makuha natin yung step by step eh. Yun lang siguro, ibigay ko lang yung best ko. Then, yung pagiging leader sa team at biglang senior na din. Bigay ko yung best ko para makatulong. Yun.
Jack Kalingking. Even if we don't talk about them a lot, the effort is always there, and he's a huge reason why they're ahead in this ball game. His ability to receive, to dig, certainly being felt. The quality of the attacks has gone up for PGJC Navy here in the third set.
Oh,
That is unfortunate. The set tumama dun sa kaliwang kamay nito si Mendoza for a free point.
lead is back to 3. Na naman yung 3-0 blitz ng Sea Lions. They're looking good.
That will stay in play. One more try for FEU. Back to Saavedra. This one he connects with.
You see how he quickly changed his angle. He was defended by Jairami when he went cross-court. Then he found the hands of the shorter blocker in Rakiza. Double sub for FEU-DN Steel. Duot and Miguel will check in once again. We haven't seen Benny Martinez in this ball game.
So similar to what they did in the first set, Duot will serve. Down by 2, 17-15. The runner is good for Castel.
Short slide works for PGJC Navy. They can't go all the way.
Yeah.
Challenge FEU-DN Steel to a 4th set.
But a much better third set here for the Sea Lions. Another off-the-block point for Salboro.
Talino rin ni Duot. He checked the blocking pattern of the Sea Lions first. He looked for the shortest blocker to give the attackers a significant advantage.
Good serve there. Oh, but it scores for De La Vega. They've never held a 3-point lead this late in the set.
Nahanap ulit ni Toto De La Vega yung confidence niya. Nawala kasi nung second set after all those unforced errors.
Now Rakiza serving. Now they can afford to just exchange points. Basta wag mo lang bigyan ng run itong FEU-DN Steel.
The Sea Lions can finish this set in this rotation habang nasa harapan si Greg Dolor. But Miko Espartero has other plans.
Yan, you keep guessing kung kanino pupunta yung bola, lalo na pag wala si Saavedra, no? How can you even choose what to prioritize with your defense? Good serve from Lyric. Dolor will attack. That gets through.
Greg Dolor just powering his way through the double block. FEU-DN Steel made an adjustment in terms of blocking. Nilagay nila si Miko Espartero sa right side to provide more height to support Chad Absin. Antas din ang abot ni Greg Dolor. Now they're 5 points away from taking a set against FEU-DN Steel.
Duot with a one-hand set to Absin. They're still there. They're not quitting on this set just yet. And before he gets subbed out, a highlight coming from Duot.
Perfect set, perfect one-handed set for the youngster in Duot.
Kaka with the serve, tough reception. De La Vega will keep it in play. Dolor sends it across. Good opportunity though for FEU-DN Steel. Espartero finds the angle.
He can score off drop balls too. Cutting the deficit down to 1. Timeout Navy.
Expected natin yung possible na gagawin ng kalaban, yung drop ball. So anong unang natin gagawin? Ihakbang yun ang paa nyo kasi mataas yung bola. Huwag nyo pilitin na na kukunin yung bola na hindi na ang paa. Basic lang naman yun. And then, hingin mo doon ang receive. Tapos, iwan ka lang ng isa rito. Receive lang muna tayo, guys. Receive na tayo. Tayo bibitaw sa receive. Then yung block ulit. Yung block, kanan mo, hindi pa puto sa kaliwa para hindi tinatapon ang bola dito sa atin. Di bali nang papasok sa kanila. So, 4% yan kay Saavedra. Ready tayo sa block defense, sa cross, at saka sa block. Ha? Cross block, cross defense tayo. Patayin natin.
They are expecting a majority of the next few attacks of FEU to go to Drix Saavedra for good reason.
Yeah, that's correct. In the past 2 sets, kay Saavedra pumunta si Ariel Cacao pag kinailangan nila ng puntos.
Good serve from Cacao Dolor.
That ball hit the
The
antenna.
antenna.
So an antenna touch violation for PGJC Navy. The antenna definitely moved.
Yep.
There's no challenge also from PGJC Navy. So official score is
20
20 all.
3 straight points for FEU-DN Steel, and now Cacao will continue to serve.
Hindi na rin pwede mag-challenge yung Sea Lions. They missed their opportunity. There's only a short window of time for you to
that's
push that
smart
button.
from Ayrami.
Unexpected 1-2 play for Hairami. But there was a net violation.
Oh! I thought it was a point. So bigla lamang na yung FEU-DN Steel. The slide gets sent back. It bounces out. A recovery for PGJC Navy.
We're down to the last 4 points for both teams.
Anxious moments here with Hairami on the service line.
Both teams are in their 3-hitter rotation.
Not a good reception. Saavedra finds a way to score. I think Rakiza was in a better position for it, Neil.
It's already an out-of-system play. The blockers were there established in front of Drix Saavedra. Pero ang taas ng clearance ng bola, they couldn't reach it.
FEU up by 1. Perfect chance for FEU to score. Picked up by Hairami. Now Greg Dolor will connect to tie it again at 22.
Greg Dolor found that corner pocket open. Hitting from the right side, pero balik na siya sa likod.
He must figure it out with Rakiza, Peter Kiel, and De La Vega. Right in front, Cacao will set it up. Good effort from Kalingking. Now Rakiza against the triple, it gets through, it stays alive. Salboro, picked up by Dolor. Hairami with a set, Rakiza will keep it in play. Saavedra, cross-court.
How can you even stop Drix Saavedra? Usually, hitters will have tendencies to go to a certain angle. Pero pag si Drix Saavedra yung umaatake, hindi mo talaga alam kung saan siya pupunta. Sharp cross, down the line, short stab.
So many options forcing this time out from PGJC Navy.
Ang ace spiker nila dyan, si Saavedra. So, block, cross tayo, defense cross sa'yo, ibibigay talaga yan, setter. Para mag-go broken play yan. Ngayon, di-defense ka lang, meron ng papalo. Naintindihan? O, specific ka. Pag nagkabalikan, automatic dito ibibigay yan kay Saavedra. Dalawahin nyo na kagad yun.
Let's go, let's go!
Malinaw ang gusto ni Coach George. Bantay sarado na dapat itong si Saavedra because we've seen it. The last 2 points of the first 2 sets, both delivered by Saavedra.
That's a good game plan for Coach George Pascua. Sarado mo yung cross-court angle, yung sharp, and yung makapal na cross-court angle. You leave that down the line para kay Jack Kalingking.
Yeah. You choose your digger. And we have a new face seeing action. Tandok with a serve. De La Vega. That's called out. No touch. And we're at match point. But I think there might be a challenge. Yes, there will be a challenge.
De La Vega just forced the issue there. He still went for a power hit.
The last challenges for PGJC Navy have not worked out for them. They need this though. Because if not, it'll be match point for FEU-DN Steel. Check this play out one more time. Nope, nope. It is just wide for De La Vega. Put in too much angle on the hit.
Yeah.
So here we go, match point, FEU-DN Steel looking for the sweep against PGJC Navy.
FEU now at match point, serving for the match, Tandok.
Tandok serving, ooh, left it short.
Sea Lions still have a chance to force a deuce. Can they get a block touch against FEU-DN Steel?
That was so interesting to choose a player who has not seen action to serve at this crucial stage. FEU calls a timeout.
Sa gitna. Pre. Tara, let's go. FEU!
And these two coaches very familiar with each other. It was actually Coach George Pascua who recruited Coach Orculio to play, to coach FEU. As Peter Kiel serves to stay alive. That's sent back and they stay in this.
That was the plan all along.
Yep.
To mark Drex Saavedra. That was the gamble for PGJC Navy. You leave the other attackers, you don't commit to them para establish ka na agad against the best scorer of FEU-DN Steel.
Peter Kiel with a sharp serve. Cacao. We go to the other side. And it is Salboro who delivers.
Salboro was only up against a single blocker. Kaya double-edged sword din. Pag minarkahan mo na si Drex Saavedra, mahirap makahabol all the way to the right side.
Third match point for FEU. Good serve from Saavedra on the slide. That connects for Castel.
They refuse to give up. They want to snatch a set. Ang crucial din nung kill block na yon for PGJC Navy.
Now it is De La Vega serving. Back to Salboro. Oh, it will score.
Ball was already on its way out.
Hinabol itong si Greg Dolor. Chased it. As a result, another match point, the fourth of this third set for FEU-DN Steel. Salboro serving. Another slide play. It works again. That's back-to-back for Castel.
All the slides have worked for PGJC Navy. Only up against a single blocker. Another deuce point.
What a fight they've been putting out, talking about the Sea Lions. Battling back, staying alive. They do not want to go down 0-3. They do not want to be swept by FEU-DN Steel. Rakisa with a service. Another quick, this time in the middle, scoring for Lyric Mendoza.
That's it for the substitution of Coach Ed. Balik si Chad Absin to boost the front line of FEU-DN Steel.
Serving for the match is Mendoza. Let's see if he can put this game away. Dolor says nah.
If you have Drix Avedra for FEU-DN Steel, may Greg Dolor naman for PGJC Navy. Challenging the block of Ariel Cacao.
Nung binabantayan na yung slide, pumunta dun sa kabila. Tied again at 27. Castel serving. Oh, that's powerful from Espartero.
Differential set works for FEU-DN Steel. Magkasunuran lang din yung approach ni Chad Absin and Miko Espartero.
Pero hindi makalamang itong PGJC Navy. Serve is an error coming from Cacao. Rushed it. Back to a deadlock at 28.
You have to take your time when you're on the service line. You have 8 seconds to serve. Now the full front line is back for PGJC Navy. They can get a kill block in this next rally.
Cacao with the set. Espartero overcooks it. But they will challenge for a block touch. Oh, net fault is the challenge. In terms of challenges, mas marami yung successful coming from FEU-DN Steel.
Challenges net fault, but pwede rin makita if may check or not. Let's see.
Such a crucial stage.
Oh, there
Very
was
late.
a
Very
net
late.
fault on his way down. So that's a lucky
Oh,
point
wow.
for FEU-DN Steel.
It was almost clear. Kala natin tapos na eh. Another match point for FEU-DN Steel. Espartero with the serve. They go to Dolor, picked up by Espartero. Hinabol ni Cacao. That is out. Clearly out. No challenge for FEU. As Salboro just sent it long.
He was too eager to put that ball away.
We will go to 31 points at least here in this third set. Tremendous battle, as both teams are desperate to pick up that first win. A quick works out for Absin.
That was a calculated risk for Ariel Cacao. He knows that Drix Avedra is already a marked man with sa blockers ng PGJC Navy. That's why he set that up for Chad Absin.
Another match point, Absin serving. And that will be called as a check ball. So we continue on. Walang bumibitaw pero hindi pa rin lumalabang yung PGJC Navy. Have not yet had an opportunity for a set point. This goes through for Salboro.
Salboro was able to maximize the space, napakalit na space dun sa double block ng PGJC Navy.
Pressure back serve now. Another match point. This time it is Drix Saavedra serving for the Tamaraws. Perfect pickup coming from Kalingking. Rakiza hammers it home.
That's an impact play right there for PGJC Navy. Up high and down hard.
Will the Navy finally taste the lead here? Tremendous effort from Espartero. And that will be a violation.
Foot fault will be called on Salboro.
First taste of the lead late in this set for PGJC Navy, and we have a timeout from FEU-DN Steel.
Jab, sir, pasa lang ulit. Hindi naman ganun ka-tibay lang din eh. Tulad yan, guys, tayo mo. Baka bigla mag-short, ha? Pasa. Tapos nag-loose ball. Nag-break ball. Hindi natin masyadong dikit si Red. Kaya mong spike na pumatay. Hindi yun.
Dandan lang.
Okay? Kailangan makakatay ng isang oras. Pwede ka dito, yeah. Dito ako punta. Middle. Papa, coach. Nakareact na ka sa... Drix. FEU!
Oh, they got so close so many times, but now they find themselves on the back foot. It's set point for PGJC Navy. FEU-DN Steel, they need now to show their grit and their determination. Play defense at this stage. Another good serve for De La Vega. Cacao sets it up. Saavedra did not get much power behind it. De La Vega, that one gets through, and we play to a fourth set.
Heavy serving definitely helped PGJC Navy here in set number 4. They forced a lot of shot passes from FEU. That's why they got more chances to attack.
PGJC Navy outlasting FEU here in the third set, surviving this one 33-31. Their first set point is delivered and won by De La Vega. We'll be back for the fourth set after a quick break. PGJC Navy showing us their willingness to fight back here in this matchup. They got close to being swept. They had to defend so many times against an opponent that was already at match point, but they survived. And then in the end, they scored the points they needed to hang around and force this fourth set coming right up. Tremendous effort coming from both squads. As you can see, the numbers, the errors, just too much in that particular time. For FEU, 11 mistakes compared to only 5 for the Sea Lions, who kept it clean. In terms of attacks, FEU still had more, but for the first time in this matchup, more blocks. First 2 blocks actually of the entire game were recorded in that third set by our PGJC Navy Sea Lions, winning that one 33-31. 2 sets to 1 now, as we're ready to begin the fourth set of this matchup. One of these teams will finally pick up their first victory. The other will slump further down our team standings. That is how crucial this game already is, even if we're just starting out, only the third day of competitions in your 2025 Spikers Turf Invitationals. Greg Dolor leading his squad with 10 points, followed by Peter Kiel with 9, De La Vega with 8, Rosete also adding 6, coming off the bench now, Raquiza with 8 points, with 4 points, and Bonch Castel adding 8. On the other side, Saavedra leading all scorers with 17, followed by Salboro with 10, Espartero with 9. We begin the action in the fourth set here inside the Paco Arena with Greg Dolor overcooking. That cross-court hit comes up wide.
PGJC Navy finally got over that hump. They needed that set win para ma-feel na that they can really win this game.
But now it will be FEU-DN Steel starting out well here in this fourth set. They did not get the best start. In that third set, oh, that's just a mistake. That is a service ace for Cacao.
This is the first time na magsisimula ng mas maganda yung FEU-DN Steel. 3-0 run for them. Coach Ed is clearly not happy because they had so many chances to close this one out in 3 straight sets, but they committed a lot of errors. Lalo na doon sa service line nung padulo na tayo nung set number 3.
Finally, the first point here for Sea Lions as Espartero sent it long. 3-1. It's the count again. It was very interesting to me how Tandok was pinpointed as the guy who would close out that matchup in the service area. Ends up giving an error na nagpahaba nung laban, and the Sea Lions just doing enough to survive.
Now they want to speed things up. They don't want na mag 5 sets pa against Navy. Sure. We've seen that so many times already. A team is already up 2 sets to love, and then they end up losing the game after dropping the third set. But the blocking system of FEU is proving to be too much for the attackers of the Sea Lions. That's 2 or 3 kill blocks to start set number 4.
Kasi nga, mas maraming blocks yung Sea Lions in that third set, 2-1. Good serve from Espartero. But Peter Kiel continues to pour in the points. He also hits double digits with 10.
That makes 2 players in double digits for PGJC Navy.
But the pace, no, parang bumilis nga here in the fourth set. Cacao sets up a counter. Quick Kalinking dives for it. It is kept alive, but it will sail out of bounds against Greg Dolor.
Good hustle though from the Sea Lions. Jack Kalinking just sacrificed his body to keep that ball alive.
That had a chance, as Dolor could not find the angle. We continue on with our fourth set of Sin serving. They go back to De La Vega. That is sent back to Raquiza this time, but they overdid it. Saavedra with his easiest point of the match.
Overset coming from PGJC Navy. Give FEU another point. 5 points to start. 5-point lead rather to start set number 4 for FEU-DN Steel.
Oh, short on that serve would be upset. So chance to calm things down. Maybe score 1 or 2 more points if you are PGJC Navy. Saavedra. Oh, that's a net touch. And we are headed quickly into our first technical timeout with FEU-DN Steel leading 8-3.
Back inside the Paco Arena, you're still watching the Spiker Surf Invitational Conference 2025. More of a back and forth affair here, Carlo and Neil, especially with the Navy Sea Lions winning the third set. Pero sabi nga ni Peter Kiel earlier before the start of the game, and I quote, hindi kami magpapatalo. For Peter and the seniors in the Navy, age doesn't matter since maturity honed their competitiveness and composure during tight games. Our match may be a face-off between the new and old generation, so let's see who's much more eager to win their first match of the conference. Now back to you, Carlo.
Hey, May, who are you calling old? You cannot use that term. They're not old, they're experienced.
Yes. Seasoned veterans. That's the correct term.
Huwag kang mananakit, May. 9-3 is the score. A 6-point lead for FEU-DN Steel, who got off to a rocking start here in this set, but another service error. I mean, that is the only thing keeping itong PGJC within striking distance.
I agree. Yung service line lang siguro yung pinaka-inconsistent when we look at the skill categories for FEU-DN Steel.
But it is sent right back. Point is donated by Joven de la Vega of that miss hit, as we see a quick double substitution. Paulino and Saria checking in for de la Vega and Jairami. Now it is the Navy that will have to show that they can bounce back and storm their way back into a contest. That gets through. At hindi na kinayang isalba ni Mendoza.
Break point for the Sea Lions. They're still trailing by 5. It's up to Greg Dolor to score a couple of points in this rotation.
Rakiza serving. Kakao with underhand set. Easy over. Pagkakataon. Back row attack. Rakiza picked up by Salboro, and then Saavedra of the check.
That's officially his 20th point.
Wow.
Parang huling team call, nasa 11 or 12 pa lang siya, but now he's already at 20.
Enjoying a 6-point lead now are the Tamaraws. 11-5. That quick works out for Bonch Castel. Pag nabibigyan ng pagkakataon, nakakapuntos pa rin itong si Castel.
Castel was the one who saved the day for the Sea Lions in that tail end of set number 3. He got a couple of slide attacks in. He also got a crucial kill block of the combination play of FEU-DN Steel.
Nakiza gets a touch. Oh, great effort, pero hindi nakakayaning isalba pa.
It is now at 6 for FEU-DN Steel.
You know, sometimes may ganun talaga eh. May adrenaline dump. When you fight so hard for the third set, aabutan ka ng kahit papano konting pagod. Kaya rin siguro may maagang double substitution. Itong PGJC Navy, another kill block for FEU.
That's a second kill block for Trick Saavedra.
Just a flat opening here for PGJC Navy. One-on-one block from Saavedra as his lead is at 7.
Dito sa outside, sa opposite side, para mas mahirap bumlock kung nasa kaliwa yung blocker, ha? Kasi mas matibay yung para si setter kasi nasa likuran para maka-receive si setter nila, ha? Okay? Wala tayong open na dito sa outside pagka out of system tayo. So either back row, sa gitna, o either doon sa dulo. And then, commit kayo middle para makita kayo para sumabay yung isang blocker, ha? Service muna tayo. Okay? Then cooperate tayo, boys. Cooperate tayo.
Kaya.
Hey! Yeah! Saka wag ka
Once again, we're enjoying the action coming from the Paco Arena. We have the Pro Valley team, Australia, who will be one of our guest teams in the semi-finals. Only the top 4 squads will advance to the next stage. They will be joined by 2 guests from Australia and from Japan.
That's Kindai University. Itong Kindai University, kilala to ng collegiate teams because some of them actually go to training camps dun sa Kinda University.
Always exciting when you have another team seeing action here in our invitationals.
Net fault is called on PGJC Navy.
Sayang yun. Meanwhile, the double substitution again. Jairami and De La Vega checking back in.
Ang bilis ng pag-pivot ng FEU-DN Steel. Yes, they lost the third set, the tightly contested third set, but now they're up by 7. Already halfway through the set.
That is too strong. Yan lang talaga. Yan lang yung kailangang linisin itong FEU-DN Steel. I believe that will be their third service error of this set alone. After making, 11 mistakes, 11 errors in that third set. Greg Dolores serving. Oh, nabitin. Binaby ni Espartero.
Consecutive unforced errors for FEU-DN Steel.
Greg Dolor preparing for another serve. Oh, they go to the middle this time to Absin, and he delivers.
Perfect tempo on the quick attack for FEU-DN Steel. Balik ngayon si Dula Dongala. Well-deserved rest for Chad Absin. Played really well.
Haven't seen Dongala since late in the first set. Now back in action for FEU-DN Steel. That goes back to the side of Navy, and Rakiza will score again. What an injection of life Rakiza has been to the cause of Navy.
Looking at the total service errors from both teams, FEU has 9, Navy has 5. But when it comes to attacking efficiency, nasa 52% yung FEU as a team. Only 36% for PGJC Navy. Drix Saavedra will still get a check ball of that miss hit.
16-10 is the score in favor of FEU as we head into this second technical timeout of the fourth set.
Guys, I'm Joshua Ibanez and... Hi guys, I'm inviting you to watch... Uy!
Hi guys, my name is... Look!
Ala, nagulat ako. Ala, tatuloy ko ba? Hi.
Back inside the Paco Arena for this fourth set of a matchup between two teams looking for their first win of your Spikers Turf 2025 Invitationals. We thank you for joining us on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. Carlo Pamintuan, Neil Flores on the call. May Reyes is our courtside reporter as Rakiza is really keeping Navy in this game.
Through the eye of a needle, Rakiza getting past the first line of defense of FEU-DN Steel.
But they need a rally. They cannot afford to just exchange points here. They're still down by 5. De La Vega with a service error.
That is tough for the Sea Lions. Won't be easy to come back from the 6-point deficit. And then mag 2-1 or 3-1.
That certainly helps them out. Salboro sends it long. Fourth service error of this fourth set against FEU.
Double digits in terms of service error. Yan yung ayaw mo na double digits. 4 players are in double digits in terms of scoring for the Tamaraws. That says a lot about the distribution of Ariel Cacao. Pero ang layo ng difference in terms of the number. Rex Saavedra already has 22 points. Sumunod sa kanya, nasa 11 points. And for the Sea Lions, they have 2 players in double digits, Peter Kiel and Greg Dolor.
18-12, the lead is at 6. Nakikipagpalitan lang ng puntos yung FEU ngayon, which they're okay with. With a 6-point advantage, Dolor gets it through the blockers, but Saavedra was there to pick it up. Drake Saavedra hits the line. Oh.
That ball was definitely out.
Initially, the linesman called the check ball, but then it was overruled. So a point for Navy, 18-13. Espartero. Oh, just a miscommunication, and this went through it. It was touched by Dongal, unfortunately, pero bumawi naman siya agad.
It's really their biggest advantage, yung middle blocker rotation ng FEU-DN Steel. Chad Absin, Dula Dongala, Lyric Mendoza.
Wala ka nang pupuntahan kung ikaw si Greg Dolor, as Navy will call a timeout.
Atong system natin, doon kasi dinadalawa na kagad dito si Greg. Nandun si Toto, meron ka dito sa gitna. Makinig ka lang muna. Kasi naghahabol tayo, kailangan natin ng puntusan Wala pa tayong pinuntos, puro side out ng ginagawa natin. Kailangan natin pumuntos para dumikit tayo. So makinig mo na ha. Kasi si setter nasa likod ng si setter Mas madaling blakit pagka wala si setter ang nasa kabila. Pagka break ball sila at system, mas madaling blakit kaysa si setter nagbibigay ng bola sa kanila. So tayo, doon ang target natin ha. Kasi mayroon bumlak sa kaliwa. Tandaan mo ha. Ganun din naman tayo, nahihirapan tayo sa kaliwa, di ba? So ganun din naman, di ba?
Let's go, let's go! Hey, Navy! Kuya!
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Pag out of system, established na yung dalawang blockers dun sa outside hitter ng PGJC Navy. So the setter has to find other points of attack. He has 2 options in the back row, in Raquisa and De La Vega.
But if PGJC wants to extend this matchup, it'll have to be here and now. A lucky break for them as Raquisa scores.
Judgment call na yon from Dongala. When it's really off, pwedeng bitawan so that the defenders can get a clear view of that ball path. Napaganda pa for PGJC Navy.
Over received. But unfortunately, wow, a net fault against Greg Dolor.
Nanggigil.
Ang sakit nun no? Regalo na, tapos binalik mo pa. So it's still a 6-point lead, 20-14. Espartero serving. This is over received, and that's an easy kill.
FEU-DN Steel is almost at the finish line. 4 points away from getting this win.
Now extending their lead to 7 points, 21-14. Another service error for FEU, but at this point, kahit na masama yung kanilang porsyento, it feels like a safe enough lead.
Well, now offset lang yung unforced errors nila dun sa attacking department. They've had a good day in terms of attacking and blocking. Baka mapalampas na ni Coach Ed yung service errors nila.
Dongala from the middle, but he is denied. Sabay tingin ito si Peter Kiel. He really enjoyed that one.
Nabuhay na yung blocking ng PGJC Navy.
(21-16) again. 5-point lead, but at least consecutive points. Kaso sila naman yung mamigay ng service error. A mistake there from Greg Dolor.
They really can't afford to give any more points to FEU-DN Steel. Tatlo na lang ang kailangan ng FEU.
Peter Kiel gets one through. So still fighting back, still answering is Peter Kiel.
He's been the second best option for the Sea Lions next to Greg Dolor. It's time for the last push of the Sea Lions.
But that's just too much coming from Amit Bituin.
Fresh legs once again for Coach Ed.
Yeah.
Tagal din napahinga si Amit Bituin. Pays off to have a deep bench. Double sub. We'll check in Duot and Miguel.
Cacao and Saavedra hitting the sidelines for the time being as Duot will serve up by 6 points, 23-17, 2 points away from winning this matchup. Rakiza with a missed hit.
Nothing's working for the Sea Lions. We have arrived at match point. There's still a challenge on the floor from PGJC Navy. It's a net fault challenge.
So we will see on the replay if there was indeed a violation coming from FEU. If not, they will be leading 24-17. And 7 match points in their back pocket. So the coaching staff of PGJC Navy just trying to help their team out, get a bit of hope. As we're just about ready to take a look at it.
That is unsuccessful. It was the ball that hit the tape of the net.
Unsuccessful challenge. Now we are at match point for FEU-DN Steel. Can PGJC Navy show one final stand? No, they won't. That will be a service ace to cap a 4-set win for the FEU-DN Steel Tamaraws.
A much-deserved win for FEU-DN Steel. Let's credit that double sub all throughout this game. Every time pumapasok si Duot and Miguel, great things happen for FEU-DN Steel, and they will finally get on the board. This is their bounce-back win after that opening day loss against Saboj.
So both teams will shake hands at center court. Nagkakaasaran pa rin si Donggala and Peter Kiel. But again, what a match. What a performance coming from FEU-DN Steel. They were forced to extend to a 4th set, but in the end, they will recover and win. Our matchup in the 4th set, 25-17. As we'll take this break, we'll be talking to our best player when we come back after this gap.
Back inside here, the Paco Arena, we have here the player of the game from the FEU Tamaraws, Drix Saavedra. No, Drix, of course, congratulations. What a game and what a performance. 22 points from you. So, of course, ito yung first win nyo this conference. Gaano ka-importante to, especially sa momentum and moral ninyo sa succeeding games ninyo?
Siguro magiging set as motivation ng team kasi yun nga, mga kuya namin yung nakakalaban namin and mga alumni. So talagang sobrang laking bagay sa amin na nanalo kami ngayon na
kaya namin makipagsabayan sa kanila.
Yes, of course. Well, madikit yung laban ng mga against sa kuya mo, 'di ba? Madikit yung scores sa sets. They even won the third set. So, ano yung mga pumapasok sa isip mo, especially nung kailangan mo na maging composed and kalmado, especially if you need to win itong importanteng laro na to?
Ako kasi, iniisip ko na ako yung sasandalan ng team. Kasi yun nga, in terms of crucial point or situation talaga, pinupush ko yung sarili ko na dapat hindi ako yung unang kakabahan or hindi ako maunang mawala. Kaya talagang pinipilit ko na i-compose yung sarili ko. Then, tinutulungan ko sila i-cheer up.
Well said. Of course, our player of the game, no other than Drix Vedra from the FEU Tamaraws. Now back to you, Carlo and Neil.
Well, thank you, May, for that interview with our best player of the matchup, Drix Vedra, checking out the highlights of our fourth set. And it was FEU-DN Steel making noise early in the match. They did not start well in the first 3 sets, but after allowing PGJC Navy to extend this matchup, parang nagising yung Tamaraws in that set, Neil.
This set felt like the fastest set actually for FEU-DN Steel. Yes, they lost the third one, but they quickly recovered. They banked on their blocking to establish a good lead against the Sea Lions, and they controlled the attacking department as well. 12-8, 4-1 in blocking, 2-0 in serving. Unforced errors, yes, kailangan pa rin nila maging consistent when it comes to serving, but again, no, offset yun dun sa production nila in the other scoring category. So, well played pa rin for FEU-DN Steel.
And that is just our first match of our triple header here today inside the Paco Arena in Manila. We still have 2 games for all of you. As you can see, number of fans showing up in support of men's volleyball. Up next, we have the Savoj Spin Doctors going up against the UST squad, and that game is coming right up. For May Reyes, for Neil Flores, I'm Carlo Pamentuan, thanking you for your continued support. This is your 2025 Spikers Turf Invitational Conference.